Welcome back everybody to CocoWyo's Girl Moments Cute and Comfy Coloring Book. So today we are going to be working on a new coloring page. So I'm actually going to skip around and pick one today just to change things up, move around the book, and because we messed up that last one there. Again, I keep forgetting to put that page in between, but I always remember quite easily, so I'm thinking at some points I will be able to go back and color over them. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with this one today. So yeah, today we're also going to talk about some tips and tricks for how to use alcohol markers. So yeah, let's delve into the video then. As I said in the beginning of this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about how to use alcohol markers. Now that I've been coloring for a little bit, I've been getting used to the techniques used to color and stay in the lines and stuff like that. And one of my biggest advice is to start with the lower quality markers. As I said in my last video, you do not need these high expensive markers. The only thing is they do have more vibrant colors slightly, and they're more opaque and they last longer, which is why they're more opaque, because they just have more ink in them overall, so they become more opaque and they last longer. But overall, if you're not coloring every single day like I do, you do not need these expensive markers, and I definitely recommend starting with the less expensive ones because it'll help you understand how alcohol markers work if you've never used them before. Because alcohol markers, they bleed a lot more than regular markers do, and that's something that can be a little bit of a surprise if you're not used to that. So definitely start with those markers and give them a try. Normally the markers that you can get, and the ones that I have put in my description in the past videos, is they have double ends, and so you can try out both sides and see how both work, and you can figure out the tips of them and, you know, give it a try on a piece of paper, a regular piece of paper first before you try on your coloring book. But that's definitely my first step recommendation, and as we go on in the video, I'll let you know some other tips and tricks. Another tip I have for coloring with alcohol markers is to obviously take it slow and steady. That's something that is probably a little obvious and a little bit common sense to probably most of you, but you know, sometimes you need to take that reminder that you need to take it slow and steady, and it's okay. And you know, markers, they have the wider end, so if you want to, you can use that wider end to, you know, get wider strokes, but just take your time and make sure that you're not going over the edges. Something else, as you get into the higher quality markers, but also with the regular, the other markers, I would say, don't go as close to the edge as you expect. Always stay away, because you can always go a little bit more, but you can't go less, and a lot of times the marker actually bleeds into the ink, and over time it extends. So if you do go to the line, a lot of times it'll go past the line even if you didn't brush past it, because the markers itself ooze out their liquid, so overall it'll do that. So one of my biggest recommendations is to, you know, always stay back a little bit, because you can always do less, not more, because if you can always add more, you can't take away. So always take your time and just, you know, don't go as close to the edge as you'd expect. And another tip I have is to pick which spots you're going to choose carefully, and use the proper side of the marker for that area. So if it's a smaller area, use the smaller side of the marker, and make sure that you're not trying to skip steps and, you know, do it quicker, and you take the time to actually use the other end of the marker, because the other end of the marker is a finer tip, and so you're able to get those smaller spaces. If it's a more huge area, then you can use the wider tip or the felt tip in my scenario, and you'll be able to widen those strokes and make them bigger. But when you get to those corners, that's when you still have to be a bit more careful. But with the wider areas, you're still able to use that felt tip side, but you just have to be a little bit more careful in those instances. So yeah, that's pretty much for my tips, and we'll get back to the rest of the coloring, and then we'll finish off the video, and I hope you enjoyed for now. Alright, so that's our finished coloring there. I hope you enjoyed the tips and tricks during the video for alcohol markers. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll be back next week with some more Girl Moments, CocoWyo's cute and comfy coloring book. So we'll see you then. Bye!